Howdy, hello, and welcome back. Today is the 12th episode of The Preferred Few with a very special guest, always leave you wanting more. Give it up for... Deja Amor, how are you?
I'm doing good, doll. How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm here. We're in a little purple 70s gig. We're going to the disco, to the studios after this. That's just, what we decided on. That's what fate landed us on.
Fate landed.
Yeah. So are you ready to flip some around and spill all of the tea?
Let's do it.
All right, well, we're going to get into it. So you're originally from Upper Florida area, correct?
Yes, North Florida. Yes.
North Florida. Yes. I was about to say, I almost put North Florida in here. I was like, is that a thing?
Yes, there's a North Florida and there's a South Florida. Because Miami's like more south, where like towards the Tallahassee area is north.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, because I just feel like when I think of Florida, if a queer thinks of Florida, they're probably thinking of hell. Speaking of that, how was it like growing up in Marianna, Florida?
Marianna, yes. Mm-hmm. Marianna is a small yet big town. Mm-hmm. It's about 30 minutes from where I am, Dothan, where I usually perform, but it was quite quaint. Like, it was, I was much of on the bougie side, more of the countryside. So like, my grandma and my mom lived in 2-story houses. My mom's a nurse. My grandma, she was in the military, and so was my granddad. Mm-hmm. So I was mainly over there more because I was born premature. So like, they took care of me when my mom worked. Yeah. But say most of it had a rough start, like school life. I was bullied because me not knowing that I was queer, but everybody else told that Deja was a twinkling married. So I was kind of like more pushed out of the closet, more coming to my own acceptance. But once I stepped foot and took control of what was going on, everything's been chill ever since then. I still have friends to this day from high school and just been living life.
And you still live in the Florida area, correct?
Yes, I do. I still live in Marianna from time to time, but I do also have a house in Dothan with my partner, and officially starting in, of course, this month, May, I'm being moving officially over to Dothan permanently.
Slay. So do you still have like a connection with the Florida area? Like, does your family still live in that area?
Yes.
Gotcha.
They used to spread out from Panama City all the way to Pensacola. I have families from all over, so
gotcha.
And plus, fun little vacations.
Florida based at heart.
Yes, Florida based at heart. Love the Florida water.
What was it like growing up queer there? When age did you officially come out?
I officially came out when I was 18.
Gotcha.
I just started out, almost graduated senior year of high school. That's when I came out. My mom technically kind of forced me. That's a funny story about how she already knew her son was queer, because my uncle, when my other uncle passed away, he told me a story that my mom had caught me playing in her heels one time, and they had this conversation of, if CJ, that's my government name, or Corinthians, ever becomes gay in the future, will you still love him? And she said yes. So years go by, I'm going through living my happy, good-lucky child life, and then when I hit my senior year of high school, my mom just couldn't take it anymore. We were driving home after picking up my grandma from her appointment, and she just slammed her brakes at her house, looked at me and be like, son, I know you're gay, there's no and I love you with all my heart. She gave me a kiss and went inside and made dinner.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of that, you said CJ is your government name, Corinthians.
Corinthians is my government name, but CJ is what I go by because I'm a junior, so it's easier for people to pronounce CJ than say Corinthians.
But Bible related.
Yes.
Was your family always religious growing up?
Yes, my family is very high-depth into the Christianity. All of my siblings are named after chapters in the Bible, so it's kind of a swanky term. It's like I came out, my dad was Corinthians senior, why not throw me a junior? I'm the second Corinthians. That's a joke in my family. I'm the second coming. My little brother's name's Nehemiah, and so forth and so forth. It's just a whole list of us.
Do you think that was kind of a fear that kind of held you back from coming out officially for a minute?
No, not at all, no.
It just, whenever, are you one of those people where when you don't feel the need, I feel like we've talked about this, you don't feel the need to tell people, it's always if they want to ask.
If they want to ask, they'll ask, but if you can clearly tell me I'm not an ask at all, but I do have my mask moments, but I'm mainly more of you can tell he's gay, or he's blah blah blah, X, Y, and Z.
Well, speaking of that, you do identify on the non-binary spectrum, correct? Was it a struggle going through that in Florida? Did you come out as non-binary in Florida?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Then that really actually started around when I started doing drag, because like I already have a feminine face as it is for a boy.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, you throw on the hair and the heels and tell if you're a he or a she.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, and then when you take everything off, they're like, who the f. So like, I love the flipping the spectrum between mask and femme and like playing tricks on people. Not saying playing tricks,
Tricks
but
on
playing
tricks on tricks.
tricks on tricks on
Tricks
tricks.
are for
Tricks
kids,
to the
and
eyes.
drag is not for kids.
Well, some is, but not apparently some government law all.
Speaking of that, speaking on the government laws and coming through drag in Florida, eventually down the road, you stumbled your journey with drag. When did you start doing drag, and what made you want to start doing drag?
I started, well, I'm coming up on my 5th year anniversary in September/October.
Oh wow!
But
So
I
you're
started
right
doing,
behind me.
yes, I started doing drag about 4 years ago. It was around Halloween time at, our local bar at DDC where you started out at. And I came a couple years after you. We haven't known each other, but I felt like we known each other, but we probably didn't.
I think I knew of you, but
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't meet till later.
Till later on. But yeah, I had came out with my friends. They wanted me to dress up. I was like, okay, cute. Let me dress up as a ugly, not as cute as I am now, girl. And so like we went out and like they had like an amazing dance party, and my drag mother, Terry Tiana, she saw me out in the crowd. She said I was beautiful as and that she wanted me to make her daughter, and like the rest has been history.
So you technically started in Durham?
Technically, yes.
Slay.
Yes.
And that Halloween night is what brought you to the Durham thing?
Yes.
Oh, slay. Did you ever, you kind of mentioned it, but did you ever have like a mentor or guidance with starting your drag? Would it be your drag mom, Terry Tiana?
Terry, yes, I'm not gonna say everything, but yes, Terry did start me out, and I am thankful for all the places she has came to me, but she always told me that at some moment of time, you're gonna start have to do the heavy lifting yourself. So when that time came and I put my foot on the gas, I went to out of town shows in Birmingham and like other places, and people loved me and accepted my craft for how it was, and my foot's been on the gas ever since, and everywhere.
And I mean, that's really where our connection came through, because I knew Terry Tiana. Terry technically had the same drag mother as I did. And so Terry was like a sister to me, a sister. So I knew through Terry, and whenever she took you under her wing, that's how I kind of met you. But how did you come about knowing Terry Tiana?
Me coming about knowing Terry, like I said, I came to a show, they were having a show, and like she saw me, fell in love with me, mesmerized. Plus me being a dancer of like 10 years, like show choir, high school, all that, trained and she saw me, she was like, do you want to do a show? And I was like,
So it was just out of fate. Like,
it was out of
her.
I didn't really know her at all. It was
Wow.
just like the stars had like, you know how to say when you feel something,
It just happens.
it just happens.
Yeah.
And I wasn't looking for anything, but she saw me, she said it was cute, and she was like, I can make something out of you. And like, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, I'm already a dancer, plus I done theater, so put two and two together, and I get to make money for it. Why not? Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
And so I did.
But I mean, that's kind of how like me and Vivica, which is also Terry's drag mom, met in the same sense. But after months of hearing your name, I eventually met you while performing at DDC, Durham Dance Club. For those who do not know, do you remember the first time we met?
Yes, and no, it was a foggy situation. Like I said, I have a short-term memory loss like over, but I do remember the good points of people. But it was, I wouldn't say you were I would feel like, you know how you say you look at somebody and you're trying to get a feel for them? That's how you were.
Like, just I came in and was like,
yeah, like, just
I
like,
mean, I do that, yeah.
yeah.
I come in and immediately.
But I was like, I had a feel. He was like, I don't like this one. Hopefully we can be good friends.
I get that a lot though. Like, I get told that I have resting face. I get told that I was mean or hateful at first, and I'm really not.
And it's not that you're mean or hateful. It's coming from a place of love. It's like if you look like I'm tell you look like you.
Yeah. And I mean, that's, honestly, I don't remember the first time we met. I just remember it was at DVC and it was for a show.
Yeah.
I want to say it was it the Western show? No, because we had worked way
before that. It was for,
You're back?
yeah, it was
Maybe.
for Terry's birthday.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Something around.
And then we ended up working together later on down the road. But not only would we meet at Dothan Dance Club, but little did we know later we would work so much together in Dothan. You were actually in my very first ever The Preferred show, and now after winning Drag the Competition, you are now the co-host, the brand new co-host of Drag the Competition, and that was honestly just a decision of Amber Xerxes, who was the past co-host. She is deciding to take a little vacation, and literally when she announced this, Deja was in the same room, and she was like, "I'll do it," and you had literally just won the night before.
So and I was like, my bestie, she's leaving, she's taking a break, why not fill in? Plus, who wouldn't you trust but more herself?
Yeah, and I mean, you literally just had one the night before, and thus getting you here on The Preferred Few. But you've always been a little businesswoman in drag. You've always, been behind the scenes and dabbling, and even to this day, you have your own shows now at Dothan Dance Club as well. Where does this business side of you come from? Is it something that you love using with your drag?
Yes, I've always said I was meant to be a business major, but I was never that.
Yeah.
But I've always had this go-getter attitude of like, okay, you have something set your mind, do it, accomplishment, write it down, and let the pieces fall where they may afterwards. And if it turns out to be great, it's great. If it doesn't, at least you tried.
Yeah.
At least you tried.
That's kind of how I am. I always love, like, kind of what you said. If I went to college for education, and if I wasn't going for education, it definitely would have been for
and that's
business.
Actually, my major was education.
Yeah. See,
I mean, education.
But I feel like everyone goes for business.
I feel it's either business or science. Something sciencey.
Yeah, definitely. Especially in this area, in the Birmingham area, for sure. But through your professionalism, you managed to make a few connections in the drag scene across Alabama with several show directors. This has brought you from doing shows in Auburn, Geneva, and even here in the Birmingham area. Yes. So do you have a favorite place to perform at?
I recently came back from Tallahassee at 926. I love it there. The crowd work is amazing. It feels like I'm having my own little mini concert because the stage set it's wide and everybody just surrounds you. I feel like I'm at Coachella.
I love that.
It's like a great
I love that. I've never been to 926.
I will have to take you sometime. It's beautiful.
It sounds really fun.
It is.
But speaking of performing, what would you say your performance style is?
I always say I'm a sex siren on heels. Like, I always say that because like you're never know what you're gonna get with Deja. She's gonna be obviously sexy. She's flexible. She's backwards bented, giving left and right. I always say I'm a little mix of Britney Spears, we're a little mix of Janet, we're a little dash of Christina. So
apparently Dolly Parton.
And apparently Dolly Parton today, yes. I love this wig. This wig is styled by none other than Showgirl Vanities. Shout out to them. If you ever get a chance to work with them, they're amazing. But yeah, like I said, Deja's a seductress. I always said people are gonna get happy or mad for one of two reasons. Mad that I made them fall in love with me, or mad that I stole their man. That's what you get with
one or the other.
One or the other.
Do you have a go-to song to perform?
My go-to songs to perform is literally I can't. Any other R&B black artists like SZA, Alani, Kalani. But for like a little dash of my vanilla girls, I love Ariana Grande, I love Britney Spears, like I've mentioned before. It's like something about those beats, and when you get me on the dance floor, the party's turned out.
Well, I mean, your music choice kind of reminds me of Vanity Lachey's music choice. I love her music choice, and yours is kind of like a more modern.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, I can do some old school with a good moment, but I have to.
Well, you can also do new school too.
I can also do new school.
When we did the Broadway brunch, you did Mean Girls, which was very. Oh yeah, I forgot to put that there. I'm gonna put that at the end just to montage.
Just a montage of all the freaking pages that I've made.
But through your professionalism and your talent and your ability to make connections, you've also managed to snatch a crown in your drag career.
Yeah.
How has it been as the reign of Miss South Alabama Pride?
It has been amazing. I couldn't have received such more thrilling feedback. Like I said, I feel as though you don't have to win a pageant to get your name out there more, but for some reason, people knew me already. But once that crown put on my head, people knew more of me.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, y'all already knew of me, but now it's like, oh, y'all want to with the doll more. And I kind of love that feeling because it's like, I put my hard work, my package was amazing. And it's just only been up from there. And yes, so sad my reign will be coming to an end next month, but I can't wait to see who takes the next title and becomes the new queen.
And I mean, I've openly said I don't like doing pageants, but that is a very good thing about pageants is they will promote you and they will give you that like management of having a platform, you know, and that's one thing I do love about pageants. Do you like do pageants? Would you say you're competitive?
That's the funny thing. I never said, and you quoted me on this too. We've never said we were going to be pageant girlies.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Somehow I ended up getting thrown into this. I think my mother was like, "Hey, baby, you should come do this pageant." Da 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 da. And I was like, I'm not gonna do pageants. I'm not a pageant girly. And then last minute, I gave my I threw my ring in, came up with my package, and ended up snatching the whole thing. So it was. And if you would have seen me the entire night, it was epic. I had a great time.
But I mean, I feel like that speaks for talent. You know, if you know your drag very well, and if you have that talent, you should be able to throw that together and just.
And it was a pretty good theme of presentation, like the theme of what it was for the night. It was pretty simple to do, and I had a concept, and it just worked. And they ended up loving and receiving me. So,
would you say you're competitive?
I will not lie and say no, but you know, yes, I am very competitive.
And sometimes I just like to like get into the moment just to have the little feist of competition. Are there any pageants or competitions in general that you see yourself doing in the future?
Yes, I was gonna do Miss Rocket City Pride. I think it's upcoming soon, but I didn't get a chance to submit my admission fee or get a package together because I've been super busy with work. But after my crown's up, I've been looking at a few pageants in the area, but other than that, whatever the future may hold.
What about the future as a whole? Where do you see yourself in the future? Do you see yourself staying in the South, Florida as a whole? You mentioned moving to Dothan.
Yes.
What's to come for Deja in the future?
I've always say whatever the world throws at me, but with what I know, what I can do and how I can push myself, hopefully I see myself on Drag Race. Hopefully I see myself for any, even if it's not Drag Race, some local competition where I can get my name out there, I'm produced and people perceive me well. I want to travel the world, travel the country, travel different states and just say, she's here, she's a bad she will give you a show and she will turn it out. And let her be known that she is present, she's going nowhere.
And you don't have like a specific destination you want to put that pinpoint on?
That pinpoint of specific destination. I'm pretty much so far marked everything off my list, but I've always said I wanted to go to Tennessee and Nashville and see what they have to offer. Or even New York because my dad's from there. So like
New York is so nice. And I love, I'm a big city girl.
Yes.
I love a big city and being surrounded by a huge city was so...
It's just sublime and everything.
Yeah. But with the future yet to come, it's time to get into questions from those who are curious to. Buckle up, Buckaroo, because it's time for Q and Slay. Q and Slay. Q and Slay. So our first question, what queen by definition never flops and only has the capability of dropping bangers? And that is from Jacqueline Julian.
Come on, Jacqueline. Yes. Okay, can you refer the question? What does that take to mean?
What queen, by definition, never flops and only has capability of dropping bangers? I'm assuming what queen is like always like top tier.
What queen, like as in drag or as like
I guess
pop culture? What queen just by definition doesn't drop?
Do the meme of us doing math where it's like.
What
queen? That
of definition compared to 3 minus the 1. What queen of definition does not flop but carries what?
Capability of
Jacqueline, get in my DMs and let me know what you meant. But I
guess it just means like a top tier queen that
a top tier queen that never flops. I would have a top tier queen that never flops that I look up to so much. Would have to be my girl. She is from Florida. No, she's not. She's from Alabama. But a top tier queen that never flops. Well, I can't say necessarily they're a queen, more of a drag entertainer, and that has to go for my lovely sis Cam, and I'm so sad to see them go. They have
never
flops, and I'm so happy to see that they're moving. But shout out to you, Cam. I love you, and keep it pushing.
And very, very soon, Cam.
Yes.
Next question. And what is your chronic illness? Quoted by RuPaul, and that is from Flapjack.
My chronic illness?
Yes. And what is your chronic illness?
Flapolina.
Girl, what's going on with these questions?
Actually, I can say my chronic illness is I'm allergic to sulfur.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I'm getting in contact with sulfur, if it's like meds or medication, I can actually die from it. Like I break out in hives, I start to sweat, lose breath, and
D. Good. I guess that's your kryptonite.
Yes, that is my kryptonite, sulfur. Which hasn't, frankly, I haven't been around since I was like 4, so.
And there's like is there like an EpiPen to it?
There's meds, like you can take, there's pills where I can have meds.
Thank God, because that'd be scary. D dead.
Yes.
Next question. Favorite Alabama entertainer, and that comes from Petra.
Comes from who?
Petra.
I don't think I've met them yet, but I will hopefully soon. My favorite Alabama entertainer, besides myself, of course, would have to be my girl, shout out Opelika, Alabama, my girl Skittles. If you can't taste the rainbow, please go see Skittles. She is amazing, and I just love her to death.
And fantastic photographer. Literally.
A great local photographer. So if you ever want to go taste the rainbow, please go see Skittles at Coffee Mafia. They are amazing.
Incredible. So you just performed in April with Skittles in Opelika. Well, technically Auburn.
Auburn, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a small town.
And then technically this will be coming out after, but I will be performing in Auburn May 17th with Skittles, and I'm super excited. Yes. I usually work with Kalana, and that's where I met Skittles through, is Kalana. Actually, we did a competition together.
Also, didn't y'all perform at last year's Crown Prince?
We did, yeah. We originally met at Drag. It was a competition.
Drag Idol. I think it's Drag.
No, it wasn't Drag Idol. That was Dothan. It was the Royal Drag Race competition. In Auburn, and that's where I originally met Skittles, and I love Skittles. Skittles is incredible, and their style is like it's so out there. It's like Skittles vomited on you, like a bag of Skittles.
The rainbow.
Yeah, I love it. And last question, anonymously said, is, are you a size queen?
Am I a size queen? Well, you know, this queen has a pretty big size, but actually size does not matter to me. It matters with what you can do with it.
That is fair. What is it? The motion of the boat?
Motion of the ocean.
Motion of the ocean, something like that. Anyway, speaking of dumb, now it's time to make these questions dumb with a segment I like to call Dumb and Quick.
Yes.
So if you've seen the show Tamar, you know you will have 6 questions with 9 seconds each to answer the question. If you can't think of a question in the allotted time, you have to admit something embarrassing about yourself.
Work.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, 9 seconds on the clock. Question number 1. Denny's or IHOP?
IHOP.
Really?
Yes.
Even that draw, but then breathe.
Listen, we had a good time at Denny's, but IHOP was superior.
So for those who don't know, in Dothan, every time we have a show, we go to a Denny's after, and they hate us every time.
But our waitress always works there, and she loves us to death.
Yeah,
and we tip her the house.
We tip her.
We tip her the house down.
That's the only reason. Question number 2, 9 seconds on the clock. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Vanilla.
Really?
I'm a base. I'm a base. I like my ice cream like my man.
Gross. Question number 3, top or bottom?
Verse. Top.
Question number 4, favorite Dolly song?
Jolene.
You are basic. Question number 5, favorite restaurant?
Olive Garden.
That's fair. Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
And I feel like at any time of the day, Olive Garden can hear.
And you get free breadsticks as many as you want.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Question number 6, preferred or more?
Well, you know, since I'm on her show, preferred, obviously.
Thank you. And finally, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at Deja Amor on Facebook, at the Deja Amor, that is TheDejaAmor on Instagram, and you can also follow me at Deja Amor on TikTok.
And you can see Deja and I every second Friday at Dothan Dance Club for Drag the Competition, where Deja is my brand new co-host. Starting this Friday, not me looking at the calendar, May 10th. Not us spilling like when this is being behind the scenes clock. But where else can they see you in person? Do you have any shows coming up?
Yes, actually, my June calendar just filled up with Pride, so thank God. And with
I was about to say, we're going to be in Auburn.
We're going to be June 1st. You can catch me at Pride on the Plains. Follow me on my socials and you can catch all my updates.
And you can follow me on all my socials at The Only Preferred for brand new looks and events to come, such as bookings that, and we actually have another booking together May 26th. Looking at the calendar again. Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for brand new videos every single Sunday. You know, we got the Preferred Fuse coming every first of the Sunday, or first Sunday of the month from now. And then the Preferred Trivia shows every last Sunday of the month. And who knows, you might see Deja on the Preferred Trivia show very soon. We might, you know, would be really good. A juicy drag the competition co-host versus each other, you and Ember.
Oh, that would be cute.
That would be
I would have her drive up here with me.
That would be so incredibly juicy. But thank you so much, Deja, for being on the channel. This is honestly, not to spill some behind the scenes to you, but we've been trying to film this for
We've been trying to film.
And you finally won Drag the Competition. I was like, oh, slay, we can do it.
I can't help I'm a busy.
Well, I mean, you and I both.
Yes.
And you were trying to get me to bring all of this to Dothan, and I was like,
girl, listen, it would have worked out.
Girl, this is a big old set.
It would have worked out.
This is a big old set.
We would have figured it out.
Until next time, stay queer, stay preferred, and stay wanting more.
Yes.